Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to this incisive discussion that will take you through the political journey since the inception of the handshake. My name is Victor Okeyo, popularly known as Jaringa. I want to give you a snip and a detail of where the rain started beating Ruto. And as a matter of fact, Ruto is on his way out of Jubilee. It will be by his own volition to leave Jubilee. To mean, he may decide to leave Jubilee voluntarily, which is what is good for him, or he may wait until he is kicked out, he is rendered irrelevant by people who feel that he is doing politics against their wish. Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that in Kenyan history, no single VP has ever succeeded a president in successive terms or regimes, except Moi, who succeeded Kenyatta by virtue of the fact that Kenyatta died while in power. And I can tell you also for a fact that the only way Ruto can become president now is if Kenyatta exits presidency through natural terms or natural causes other than the election of 2022. Because his presence in Jubilee will be made unbearable, untenable, if he continues to be a member of Jubilee Party. He will be reduced to a shell before even the end of this year. What makes me to say this? Looking at where we are coming from since 9th March of 2018, when President Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga shook hands in the much dubbed handshake. Ruto misinterpreted that and escalated his politics by terming handshake as a scheme for conmanship and fraud. That is where the rain started beating Ruto. The rain started beating him at that point because he appeared to oppose his boss. And since then, you will agree with me that he has consistently been opposing every move that his boss has been fronting. For instance, he opposed the handshake and brought his foot soldiers to vilify the handshake. He opposed the issue of lifestyle audit. And you remember, like I do, that his foot soldiers were at the forefront of alleging that lifestyle audit was targeting the Deputy President William Ruto. In the recent spat between him and top leadership of this country, he has come out to be opposing corruption, the war on corruption. He hides from the backdrop that he supports the war on corruption. But if you listen to what his foot soldiers are saying, then you will agree with me that Ruto does not support the war on corruption, because they've made it appear like it is a war targeting him and probably his community. But come to think of it, maybe Ruto is just a good student of politics. He has seen the fact that Raila made it extremely difficult for Jubilee in their first term to rule. And he even swore not to recognize the Jubilee government. And he even swore himself as the people's president. And some of those are the reasons Jubilee considered, or Uhuru considered, working with Raila, at least to bring people together. And a good politician must know how to create chaos, how to cause instability, and at the same time be the solution to that instability. That is what Raila did that led to the handshake. He made himself valuable. And Ruto, in my opinion, is hiding behind the handshake. He's hiding behind, sorry, not the handshake, he's hiding behind, claiming that the wars on corruption, the lifestyle audit, and even the handshake were aimed at cutting him to size. But I think he just wants to justify, he just wants to emphasize, he just wants to authenticate. He wants to stamp his authority. That is what he wants. He wants to stamp his authority. But come to think of it, that if Ruto does not do what he is doing also, then he's doomed. He will be like all other vice presidents that we have had in the country, who have to reinvent themselves. So this probably is a reinvention for William Ruto. It is an opportunity for him to appear like he's his own man, he's himself, he's charting his own political path. He doesn't need Jubilee, he needs himself and whatever party he is going to work with in the next election. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I have presented you with two sides of a coin. I have told you, I have given you an analogy of where the rain started beating Ruto, and I have also told you why this is good for him. So on a decisive matter, whatever Ruto is doing is what can work for him. This is the only way he can make himself competitive enough in the next elections. This is the only way he can increase the stakes and even his negotiation abilities as we head to the next election. So he must continue opposing it. He must continue, creating issues where there are no issues. He must even oppose the referendum. And his politics is not going to end anytime soon. And people should brace themselves for that. So as a matter of fact, for William Ruto, it is good for him to politicize things the way they are, because that is the only way he's stamping his authority. But for Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, who plans to leave a legacy, continued politicization of every issue or every agenda of the government is a disservice, is counterproductive, and works against the two of you. That is why Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta must also decide on this matter. And in any case, if they wanted to impeach the deputy president, they can easily do it. Getting 2/3 majority to impeach William Ruto would not be a problem, because even right now you can see he's left with members of parliament from Rift Valley. What this means in essence is that the president and the prime minister must act. They must send Ruto to the oblivion. They must impeach him, or they must use any means possible to ensure that he moves out of Jubilee and frustrate him as much as possible if they want to implement any Big Four. Otherwise, Big Four is going to be a marriage. It's going to be another story. And that would be too sad. That would be too sad. It would be too sad. So let us change the way we do things, the president. Let us ensure that we are alive to the fact that Ruto and team do not care, even if they were sent out or they were sent packing. They do not care. But can we do it? Can we do it? That is what I think is bedeviling this country. Thank you very much. God bless you. And let us meet next time. Okay.